Did you see the interview? The interview with Mika Brzezinski, Morning Joe, with Joe Biden. You see that? Anybody else see that? I saw it. If you didn't see it, I got a couple minutes of it. It's long. It's 18 minutes. I'm like, first of all, they're not going to shut my channel down playing this dry-ass interview. Did I give it away, Johnson? I didn't mean to give away the ending. Here goes a couple minutes of Joe Biden being on the Mika Brzezinski show where Joe Biden is forced to deal with accusations that he rapped with an E. So YouTube has been really hard on me lately. They really don't like when I talk about stuff that's important.
She claims that possibly a complaint or some sort of record of this might be at the University of Delaware. So, for complete transparency, why not push for the release of any documents with Tara Reade's name on them, whether it's at the University of Delaware or the National Archives?
First of all, let's get this straight. There are no personnel documents. But you can't do that. You wouldn't, for example, if you worked with me or I worked for you and you had my income tax returns, you had my whatever. They're private documents. They're not for the. They don't get put out in the public. So they're not part of the public record. That in fact is that any senator or vice president or president has in their documents. Look, there was one place that she could file the complaint. And that office at the time was all those records from that office are in the archives, and they're controlled by the Senate. That's where personnel documents would be if they exist. That's where the complaint would be if it exists.
Given the fact that you have said in the past that if a woman goes under the lights and talks about something like this, we have to consider that the essence of this is real. Is the essence of what she is saying is real? Why do you think she's doing this?
I'm not going to question her motive. I'm not going to get into that at all. I don't know why she's saying this. I don't know why after 27 years, all of a sudden this gets raised. I don't understand it. But I'm not going to go in and question her motive. I'm not going to attack her. She has a right to say whatever she wants to say, but I have a right to say, look at the facts, check it out, find out whether any of what she says is asserted or true. And based on the investigations that have taken place so far, to the best of my knowledge, by two major papers, they interviewed dozens of my staff members, not just senior staff, but staff members, I'm told, at least that's what they said, and yes. Nobody, this was not the atmosphere in my office at all. No one has ever said anything like this.
All right. The whole interview continued like that. It was 20 minutes of, all right, let's get this straight. You know, let me get this straight. Let's get this straight. Let's listen up now. Let's get this straight. Blah, 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 incoherent. Blah, 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 blah. What the hell did he say? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Is the essence of this interview real? Is the essence of it real, Mika? Is it? Mika, if the interview was real, if the questioning was real, maybe you would have brought up the fact that, I don't know, that there are witnesses backing up her story and no witnesses backing up his story. That she told her mother, her brother, sister, aunt, cousins, neighbors, all these people come forward. Yeah, I remember her telling me. Yeah, she told me. Told me too. Hey, told me too. And just because no one in Biden's office remembers doesn't mean she didn't report it. Mika didn't even mention that on Larry King. There's a video of her mother in 1993 calling in the Larry King show to talk about her daughter working for a prominent senator and how she had an issue with the office. Something happened and no one would help. Mika didn't even bring that up. Mika was doing a very good job of pretending to be doing a good job. I'm not going to question her motives. I know you're not. We question Mika's motives. We question MSNBC's motives, and we question the motive of you, Joe Biden. Your motive, Joe. Yours. I mean, it's just gotten to the point where it's just like really, it's really repetitive. I feel like a broken freaking, a scratched record is what I feel like I am at this point. I mean, is there anyone out there who believes that there's possibility that Joe did this or didn't do this? Yes, both things are possible. But one thing we know is we've seen Joe do a lot of creepy shit. That's what we know. So, look, here's the deal, guys. I'm not here to get Trump reelected. Some people are, though, Johnson. And we need to focus. We need to recognize that. But regardless of what people's motives are, there is a thing called truth that we strive to get. And what I like to do is be on the right side of truth. And I like consistency. I supported Blasey Ford, who had a lot less credibility. Blasey Ford had absolutely no one corroborating her claims. Nothing. She didn't remember what happened. She didn't remember when it happened, where she was when it happened. Nothing. And we still were like, sounds true to me. I'm serious. We were like, because we don't know. And we're like, in a situation like that, we got to hear the story. Got to hear the whole thing. Got to have a hearing. Got to have an investigation. And I don't mean New York Times. And when this lie, this is a lie, that the New York Times said there was nothing. New York Times never said there was nothing. They said they could not confirm if anything happened. That's not the same thing as saying you're innocent, Johnson. First of all, it's not a court of law. It's some reporter named Lisa Lara. And she never said, she even had to come out and say, no, whoa. I never said Joe didn't do anything. All right? I never said that. I said we can't prove he did anything. We also can't prove he didn't do anything. Okay? Okay, that's what I said. That does not exonerate anyone. That doesn't give anyone a pass. It's just saying we don't know. That's what the New York Times investigation proved. That Mika didn't even challenge here. Now, I know you know Johnny Cochran, Mika Brzezinski, or no trial attorney. You know Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris got a very good high conviction rate of poor people. Her and Amy Klobuchar did very good at locking up poor people. Here, it looks like she was doing her best rendition of Kamala Harris when it came time to press charges against rich people and powerful people. That's when all of a sudden we don't do such a hot job, Johnson. That's when all of a sudden we don't follow up and have repeat, cross-examine and bring up other things and facts that could put them in jail. That was actually a very good one. That was good. So Joe Biden. So look, here's the thing. This is the problem, guys. It's just not about, is Trump scary? That's not going to be a reason to let this go, because here's the thing. This will be used against the Democrats. And not only that, it will suppress the vote. There's a lot of ways to suppress. This did to Joe Biden. There's a lot of ways to suppress the vote. You can suppress the vote with the way Republicans usually do it, which is they, do this thing called gerrymandering, right? Redistricting. They do, voter ID laws, voter laws. There's a lot of poor people in the country. I know a lot of y'all don't understand that. Hey, these Republicans, even stupid fools like Candace Owens, who talk really fast, and people think that they know something when they talk fast like that. And then they try to say, and all of a sudden that means that they're very intelligent. There are a lot of poor people in this country who don't have a lot of money. And until you start making IDs free and make transportation to get them free and make it able for people to qualify and have a prerequisite documentation to get them, it is an obstacle. There should be no obstacle to voting. But see, the Republican Party specializes in not getting people votes in the general, but in the primaries, the Democrats are very successful of suppressing the vote. And the way they suppress it is they run horrible candidates, Johnson. Or they close down polling places. Or they lose your ballot, which they're all good. So both parties are very good at suppressing the vote. But this particular issue here, the Democrats are doing a very good job of suppressing their own vote by having a candidate such as Joe Biden. That's going to suppress the vote. In fact, I know the Republican apparatus is suppressing votes. It's going to be able to take some time off because they're like, wow, well, guess we ain't got to stop people. They're going to stop their own people from coming out by having a potential rapist on the ballot. These are a problem. Now, To that point, check out this. This is something I found on Twitter.
She claims that possibly a complaint or some.
Mommy, a man touched me in a bad way. Oh, dear. Was he a Democrat or Republican? Because, see, the point is, if it was a Democrat, that's okay. We know Joe. If it was a Republican, kill him. Also, there's this.
This is also a question about electability. We are not going to beat Donald Trump with a man who has who knows how many non-disclosure agreements and the drip, drip, drip of stories of women saying they have been harassed and discriminated against. That's not what we do as Democrats.
That's what you said before. Why aren't you saying it now? Yeah, why something changed between then and now? Oh, that's right. It's a different guy now. My bad. You know, it's a different guy. It's totally different. What is Joe Biden? It's like, hey, so what? I mean, actually, guys, Johnson, there are 8 different women with allegations against Joe Biden. It's not just Tara Reid. There are 8 others who said he did, no, touching without permission, crossing all types of boundaries. He's a habitual line stepper. That's what he is. 8 women. She's the 8th woman to make this claim. You didn't know it was that high, did you? I know you wouldn't. And you would know it if Mika bothered to say it. These are all things that should have been brought up. Like, hey, Joe, you got a history of being a guy who doesn't follow rules when it comes to women. Here goes the other 7. There's 7 other women that say you did not something as drastic as this. But you had a good start. That's what we're trying to say, Joe. But Mika wouldn't even bring it up. Neither did Willie Geist or Joe Scarborough. None of them brought it up. So, I mean, at this point, man, we're just talking to hear ourselves talk because they have no intention of holding his feet to the fire, though they should, guys. They really should. That's because I'm convinced, I don't know about you, I'm convinced that they don't really care to win. They don't really care. The whole point of the Democratic primary was to do what? Can we say it in unison to make sure we're on the same page, Wolfpack? The whole point of the Democratic primary is to stop Bernie Sanders. That was the whole point. Is anyone doubting it at this point? Are you still living in denial? You really think that this was to help Biden? Listen, here goes. Yesterday, Joe Biden was at a presser, and he made a comment about what his job is. What his job is. Here's what Joe Biden said his job is.
This is also a question about electability.
Robert Costa reports, Biden tonight per pool reporter. Madeline Rivera says, this is what Joe Biden's statement was. I view myself as a transition candidate. My job is to bring the mayor Pete's of the world into this administration. There goes his job. That's his job. That's what he's supposed to do. That's his purpose. That's it. To bring the Mayor Pete's of the world out to you. Yep. Hey, Jim Clyburn. Sir. Good sir. Good sir. So that's the Joe you know, huh? To bring in Mayor Pete. Yeah, Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete. Joe Biden, his job is Pete Buttigieg, and Pete Buttigieg's job is to depress the vote. Yeah, make it so that us rabble-rousers don't even have a reason to come out or contend or... Look, what Joe Biden is third party. He's a third-party candidate. What I mean is, when you run at Joe Biden after running at Hillary Clinton, you create a third party. I'm not convinced that's not what the Democrats want. They must want a third party. This is the type of candidate that creates a third party. And please, you can't say you want black people to come out and vote. You don't want us to come out and vote. If you want us to come out and vote, you would never put a guy like Joe Biden front and center and have him talking about Pete, the guy who was polling at 2% with black people. I think almost like maybe 4% with Latinos. It is what it is. It is what it is, folks. So at the end of the day, guys, here we are. We're sitting here. We got Joe Biden. Accusations he won't really respond to. 18 minutes of deflection and running around the ring. I was tired of watching Joe's slow ass run around the ring and Mika pretend to try to catch him. Not for those with with other stuff to do, even if it's just to watch the grout in your bathtub turn gray. Listen, it was horrible. But it does tell you something about the Democratic Party and what their true intentions are. Get it today. Wolfpack.